All right, it is time to talk MVP because we are sitting here with just a couple of weeks left in the NFL 2025 season, getting closer to playoffs, and the MVP race is looking very interesting and kind of a shocker. I don't think many people would have chose it to be the standings that it is right now. But anyways, welcome into Rising to the Occasion. I'm Josh Mahler, joined as always by Jeremy Russell, and we are here to give you guys our breakdown of the NFL MVP race, key storylines behind it, and so much more. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You can follow us on social media and find everything we do at rising2.com. That's RISINGTO. Jeremy, let's talk MVP. Give me your top three here in the MVP race currently.
All right, currently looking at my top three. I'll start up with number one. He may be getting up there in age, but he's still putting up amazing numbers, and that's a guy by the name of Matthew Stafford. I mean, he's a favorite for a reason, Josh. You look at what he's done. He's thrown 40 touchdowns and only 5 picks. I know your favorite thing is look at TD to interception ratio and stuff like that. He's having a 112.1 passer rating. It's just literally an all-time best, and not just for him, but and literally just for the NFL. He leads in EPA per play, in success rate and touchdown iteration rate. Like I said, I mean, being 37 years old, he's not the oldest quarterback in the league. Obviously, he can definitely sit up there for an age. But this is uh this is definitely a defining season for his career. If he wins the MVP, Josh, that's definitely looking pretty good at the Hall of Fame out in Canton. I'd say it's honestly a lock, Josh. But number two, there's no other slouches here when you talk about these three. That's a guy by the name of Drake May here. He may still be considered a rookie, but still having this being his second season here. He's been honestly unreal if you think about it. Like, 380 yards in the game-winning touchdown drive against the Baltimore Ravens to clinch a playoff spot. I mean, he's literally transformed a team that was 4-13 into a 12-3 division winning team. The betting odds they've been at a plus 4.25, 425. It's the second behind Matthew Stafford, of course. And obviously, if we're going to my third one, gotta save the reigning guy for last in the MVP, and that's a guy by the name of Josh Allen. He's got the resume, the stats, the plenty of clutch moments. I mean, like the one I can think of off the top of my head, obviously the 21-point comeback against the Patriots. I mean, he's currently sitting at plus 550 in odds, Josh. All three of these guys, realistically, they all could win the MVP here. But it's just really, really tough for this year, and it's just really different for some of these names here. Not necessarily different, but all these guys could easily win this MVP race.
Yeah. Three guys that are worth mentioning. It seems like a lock for the top two, the first two that you mentioned, too. It just feels
Yeah.
like it's between Drake May and Matthew Stafford. It doesn't really feel like anyone outside of that really has much of a chance. Like you said, plus 550. I actually just looked it up on the FanDuel Sports app, and it shows plus 2,500 for Josh Allen now. So I think that's changed big time.
Wow.
Probably a lot to do with what's happened here yesterday. And
Right.
so, yeah, just it's crazy how that keeps on shifting and changing. But I like the top two that you named there, and I agree with you. I think Matthew Stafford kind of sitting there at number one. We'll talk more about him, but I want to throw in a couple of honorable mentions because there's a few guys that the first one I'll mention probably isn't even being mentioned by many people in the MVP race, but I'll throw Caleb Williams in there kind of as an honorable mention just for the
Yeah.
clutch factor. Now, I don't think he deserves to win the MVP or anything like that, but let's see. I was just looking at this too. I'll try to see what the updated it shows plus 10,000 for him to win the
Wow.
MVP award. So not like he's going to win it, but sitting there at about plus 5,500 is Trevor Lawrence. I think he deserves a mention too. We talked about this when talking about the playoff picture, but he's had 13 touchdowns in 5 games during a 6-game win streak. I mean, he's been playing some of the best football of his entire career. He's been looking like the Trevor Lawrence that we thought would come into the NFL. And I really think that he deserves at least that mention in there. But again, Caleb Williams, just for that X factor, that kind of clutch gene that he's been coming in and just lighting it up here, especially here late down the stretch here, coming down close to playoff time here, and then bringing the Bears back too. So I just feel like it's just the fact that it's the Bears and how long it's been since they've been relevant for him bringing it back. And then, of course, like I mentioned, Trevor Lawrence, just because of the tear that he's been on and finally looking like the Trevor Lawrence, that sunshine that we wanted to see.
Yeah, 100%, dude. I mean, those two guys between Caleb Williams and Trevor Lawrence, they're 100%. You have to at least give them a little bit of a shout out because I mean they've been to take no disrespect to any other quarterback in the league. I mean they've been definitely busting their butts, but I mean these guys they've just been pushing it a little bit extra, especially for I'll talk about Caleb Williams for a brief moment. I mean having what he just recently did and just getting that last drive and then getting into overtime. I mean that's just a absolute memory that will last him a lifetime. I mean, I know the last time I looked, I think it was only currently sitting at like minus like 7,500, and then now you say it's sitting at 10K. I mean, that's crazy. But I mean, both of these guys, and even mentioning Trevor Lawrence, I mean, he's having an unbelievable year. I mean, and just seeing him finally break out of his shell. I mean, compared to what we've seen him do last season, for example. I mean, we were kind of expecting to see Trevor Lawrence get into a little bit last year, but I mean, this is just definitely his year to where he's breaking out of that cage and he's just absolutely making a name for himself. And I wish nothing but all the quarterbacks, and especially for these guys, nothing but the best. But I mean, Josh, still, you look at it, if I had to honestly pick somebody for when it came down to crunch time for who's going to win this MVP race, I'm just still kind of locked in on Matthew Stafford here for winning it. Like he's really been the most consistent, dominant player all season. I mean, take it for granted. Nothing against Drake May or Josh Allen being the reigning MVP here, but just Matthew Stafford he's just built different, especially this season. Like he's putting up unbelievable numbers and everything that I've seen out of Matthew Stafford. I mean, he's just been absolutely electric, and I think he has a really good shot. And he's honestly my pick of winning the MVP this year.
And I don't think he's had a season this good. I agree with Matthew Stafford. I think he's my pick. And I think Matthew Stafford at this point, right now, I feel really confident that he wins it.
Yeah,
But if Drake May does lead the Patriots to a 1 seed, wins a playoff game as like you said, basically a rookie. I mean, because he last year, sure, you can throw something in there if you want to act like he's not a rookie, but he's basically a rookie. But anyways, if he were able to do that, I think Drake May could steal some first place votes. But yeah, MVP race is very tight.
yeah, 100%. It's really, really tight. But the one thing that's not tight is the coach of the year. We'll jump from MVP to coach of the year. I mean, this thing it's honestly kind of wide open. Like, you got some really good coaches here, but I mean, there's not one specific coach in particular that's dead lock. But I mean, it's really kind of wide open if I had to say so.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. You look at Jim Harbaugh. I think right now he has to be the favorite with what he's done with the
Yeah,
Chargers. Bringing them, taking them to 11-4 right now. Despite we were mentioning this, 20 different offensive line combinations. They've had to mix that offensive line up so much this season,
it's
and that's a
crazy.
really tough thing to do to win when you can't find an offensive line to protect your quarterback and to open up the run game. So I think Jim Harbaugh seems like the favorite right now with how he's flipped the Chargers around, especially with them in the race for high seeding at that. It's really interesting. And then, of course, with Justin Herbert, who's been playing, I mean, honestly, really well, even though he's been playing with a surgically repaired hand, in a protective sleeve. I think the way that the Chargers have been performing, it doesn't seem like it's any individual excellence. It really seems like it's been coaching. So that's why I think Jim Harbaugh right now seems to be the favorite right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that, Josh. I mean, Jim Harbaugh, he's been through a lot, of course, but I mean, just this season alone, especially with Justin Herbert, it's been crazy. I mean, who knows? Maybe they have some bionicle in his hand. I mean, I know he just did have that surgical repair, but I mean, you can never know that, or maybe check his sleep or something. I don't know, but no, I'm just kidding. I mean, talk about another guy. I mean, I know I just talked about Caleb Williams and the Bears, but I mean, the guy on the headset. I mean, Ben Johnson with them, and I mean he's turned a 5-12 team into an 11-4 team and developing Caleb Williams into honestly a clutch superstar. I mean, Caleb Williams and the Bears, I mean, they just been absolutely phenomenal going down this last bit of stretch. And I mean, I know there's still 2 weeks to go, Josh, but I mean, don't sleep on Caleb Williams or even Ben Johnson and the Bears just because there's still some really good names that could be brought out there.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. And I think you look at this, the like you said, it is really wide open. It feels like. So I mean, it's just been really, really impressive to say the least. To look at these teams, and I think Ben Johnson too. Is this Ben Johnson's first year with the Bears?
I believe so. If not, it might be his
May,
second year with the
Maybe his
Bears.
second year. I can't remember for sure. Yeah, I mean he's been doing amazing. And honestly, I could see him really taking that, like just taking it by storm, especially if they were to close out the season strong. He's a big one, and I think another guy to not sleep on is Mike McDonald with Seattle, sitting there at 12-3 right now. I believe his first year as a head coach up there at Seattle too, um, if not maybe his second year. But I think right now it's just crazy when you look at how wide open the NFL is right now. And we were talking about this earlier uh, before we started recording, like how crazy the NFL's been this year, where it's like we're talking about the NFL and it just doesn't seem real. Like, why are we talking about teams like the Jaguars being in it, or the Chicago Bears being in it, or Seattle sitting here with a coach of the year and a guy, Sam Darnold at their quarterback who's doing well. Like I mentioned earlier, talking about the Seattle Seahawks, where it seems like a team full of misfits. But then we've got Drake May, a second-year quarterback, sitting there one of the MVP favorites, and then you've got Matthew Stafford sitting there at I think 37 years old, as one of his best seasons in the NFL for however long he's been. So, yeah, I mean, you look at how crazy it's been here in the NFL, and it just seems like it's been a wild year to say the least.
Oh, 100%, dude. I mean, it's been a crazy, crazy NFL season to say the least. I mean, obviously everyone's used to us talking about like, well, not just us, but just in general for talking about obviously Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, even bringing like the Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals, or just listen to a few teams off the top of my head here. I mean, like it's definitely crazy to see that you just you're not going to see these guys come down into the postseason. I mean, there still is a very slim possibility here, but I mean, looking at how everything's gone, I mean, it's just crazy to think. And just talking about the meantime, like the other teams that we're talking about, like got the Jaguars, Broncos, Patriots, Chargers, all rising literally in the AFC here. I mean, it's just crazy to wrap my mind all around all of this. Like the league has literally shifted to no end. And I mean, it's not like what we're used to seeing, Josh, but I mean, this MVP race is definitely going to be an absolute barn burner. It doesn't matter whether it be for the MVP or for the coach of the year. But I mean, it's not set in stone yet for coach of the year, like we've been talking about. But for MVP, this is definitely going to come down to the wire, and I'm really looking forward to it. But Josh, still, Matthew Stafford's just looking dominant, but we only can find out. And we just got to wait until the end and see.
It's going to be interesting, like we mentioned, with the MVP and Coach of the Year. You talk about Matthew Stafford, Drake May, how close that race really feels like it is,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels like it's only one game away from like being the true deciding factor for either one of those two. And then we just
Yeah.
mentioned a couple guys, and Ben Johnson and Jim Harbaugh too for Coach of the Year that I think is really close. And of course, I think Seattle's coach Mike McDonald too is another guy that you've got to consider, but an incredible season. It seems like it's completely flipped upside down on its head. The NFL is wild, to say the least. But, anyways, make sure to follow us on social media. Drop your playoff predictions in the comments, your MVP predictions in the comments. Who you think is going to win the Super Bowl, all that fun stuff. We'll be back, I'm sure, for a full Week 17 recap, talking about again, more of the playoff changes and everything that's going to keep on shifting around, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, follow us on social media. And of course, you can find everything we do at rising2.com. That's risingto.com. For Rising to the Occasion, I'm Josh Mahler, joined by Jeremy Russell. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.